morning. So yesterday we did the very first stage of focused note taking, and was the process of taking notes. We watched a video. If you haven't done this yet, you need to go back to September 22nd and watch that video. And we did taking notes on grit, right? We started with the topic at the top of our notes, the essential question at the top of our notes, and today's date at the top of our notes, or yesterday's date, I guess, technically. And then we wrote notes from that video. And prior to watching this video, hopefully you went into the Google form, looked at my notes, and gave me some feedback. What is something I should add to my notes that you had? What's something that you took from my notes and put in yours? We always want to make sure that we talk to someone sitting near us when we're taking notes, when it's possible, and say, hey, what'd you write down that I missed? Sometimes we get so busy writing, we miss hearing a key phrase. And so we want to go back and see what we can come up with and see what information would make our notes better. So that's the first step of phase 2, which is processing notes, right? We want to process these notes. We want to really start to make them work. If I pick a bunch of tomatoes from the garden and I just leave them on the counter, they're just going to go bad. If I take these notes and I just leave them in my notebook, they're going to go bad. They're not going to be any good to me. But if I process my tomatoes, if I turn them into spaghetti sauce or salsa or something like that, then all of a sudden, then I like them. I don't like them plain, but I like them in salsa, right? Fresh salsa, fresh tomatoes, blah, blah, blah. So our notes are the same way. If I just let them sit, they're going to turn blah and gross and not be any good for me. But if I process them and really start to clean them up, good things are going to happen. So this page right here that we're looking at is some ideas of how to revise or process your notes. So I'm going to just run through them real quick. These are ideas. Do you need to do every single one of these when you do your notes? No, but they're ideas to help you get better. So the first one, number the notes for each new concept or main idea. This is something that I think about a lot with social studies, right? Our social studies teachers, at least the ones I used to have, loved PowerPoints. So they just go. And this allows me to kind of chunk my notes, right? I can get them into groups based on the different topics. In math, example 1, example 2, example 3, right? As you're running through those notes, you can chunk them, right? So you could even write example, Visto. Okay, example 1, example 2, example 3. That is a way to help us kind of separate our notes so it's no longer just a giant piece of paper. It actually can make some meaning out of it. Okay, that's one of the first things we can do. Another thing we can do is circle vocab and key terms in pencil, right? So we're going to do some things in pencil. We're going to do some things in pen. Vocab, key terms in pencil. Circle them to make them stand out. Highlight or underline main ideas in pencil. So either you can highlight, or it might be helpful to underline those main ideas, right? There's my highlighter. Let's go. Highlight. Come on, highlighter. It's really light. There we go. So there's an option. You can highlight them and just bust that out that way. We can use this caret key, this caret symbol, or kind of like an A, to put information, right? But notice it says in a different color. We want it to stand out if it's something new we're adding. So that's a reason why we have different colors of pens or different colors of markers, to add that and really to make it pop. Unimportant, cross stuff out. Cross it out with a pen, right? Drawing a line through it and just say, nope, no thank you. Don't actually need this. Identify points of confusion to clarify, right? Points of confusion, otherwise, this does not make sense to me, and I need someone to help me out. This also might be, you could even write POC if it's a point of confusion for you. This star symbol. Identify information to be used on a test. Oh my gosh, if your teacher says, hey, this would make a great test question, mark it in your notes. Or maybe it's a great idea to use for an essay. Maybe it's a key piece of information. Maybe you're going to use it for a tutorial. Make that star in those notes to help you come back to that. And if I were you again, I would make that star in a different color. If you need help getting different colors, please let me know. But make that star in a different color so your eye notices it. When you see things in color, your brain works differently and it does really great things. And then create a visual or symbol to represent important information, right? Maybe for some reason your teacher's talking about how something connects to a tree. Or maybe there's some way in math and we need to make sure we've got a diagram to kind of help explain something. Maybe it's a triangle or a circle. But somehow do something with a visual to really lock it in. So your task is to take these grit notes that you took notes, and now we're going to step 2, and we're processing notes, so that we can make them work for us, just like the tomatoes on our counter. So work through your notes, process your notes. Eventually you are